Are you ready to shift your life into a whole new gear? Do you feel stuck in your job? Do you feel stuck in your finances? Do you feel stuck in a relationship? Do you feel stuck without a relationship? Do you just feel stuck? I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes how you can shift gears in your life, and it all happens starting right here by changing your thoughts. We're going to look at what Joe Dispenza says about this, and he's done tons of research over the last 30 years. He knows the science, the psychology, and the spirituality behind shifting your thoughts to a new pattern and how it changes your life. Let's talk about it. By the way, I'm Jim, y'all, and I share this kind of stuff all the time. If it's the kind of thing that helps you, I invite you to subscribe below. There's a link there if you want to talk about working with me one-on-one. I'd love to help you personally. How do we shift our thoughts? I was in my Volkswagen today, and it's a manual, and I was thinking about how often I shift gears in the Volkswagen, and it got me back to a place for the first time I ever drove a new car off of a dealership lot. I went in, I was 19 years old. I'd grown up since I was 14. I'd been driving a stick shift, so I knew all about how to drive a manual, but I wanted a Honda CRX. And if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you know in the 80s when those came out, they were the car to have. Well, I had a job and I went in and I thought, I'm going to get this new car. And I remember the girl at the lot, the salesperson, got in the car with me. We went to test drive it. And as we were pulling out of the lot, I wasn't used to something with that high of an RPM. I was on the V8s and the stuff back in the day, and when I took off, it just started shaking the way a manual transmission will do if you have it in too low of a gear. And the girl yelled at me, I'll never forget. She's like, shift it! And it traumatized me. I didn't buy the car. I was so embarrassed. I just went away with my tail tucked between my legs. I was a different person then. But it got me thinking about how with a manual transmission, you have to shift the gears. If you don't shift the gears, you're not lining the transmission up with the RPMs of the engine, and that's what the manual transmission does. It lets you have control of when you shift that gear so you're in alignment with the engine. What's going on in your life, if you're not living the life you want to be living right now, you're not in alignment with the true you, your true self, your higher self, your eternal self. When you get in alignment with your eternal self, guess what happens? You plug into divinity. You plug into who you're really made to be. You plug into source, into God, God's self, and you shift into a whole new level. Here's what Joe Dispenza would say is the science behind all of that. He's done a lot of brain scans on people over his 30 years of helping people to grow into this mentality and discovering why we operate the way we operate. And he says there's 4 basic principles involved. If you want to change your life, you have to change your thinking, because thoughts become things. If you don't believe that, look at the phone in your hand or the computer you're watching this on or wherever you're at. That at one time was a thought in somebody's mind, and it became a thing over time. We start to think about something and it comes into reality in our life. The life you're living today is based on the thoughts you thought yesterday and last week and last month and last year. You've created your reality, you and you alone. And you can change your reality when you change, number 1, your thoughts. Now, here are some keys that Joe gives us that others maybe do not on how to make a thought become a thing in your life. When you start thinking new thoughts, when you stop telling yourself your old beliefs, your old patterns, you can't because, you would, but you don't have this would work out, but, and we get our big buts in the way. When we stop thinking that and we start thinking new thoughts, it's important we attach strong feelings, emotions is what Joe says to that. What does that mean? That means you need to start feeling good about your life. I love the way Wayne Dyer says it personally. Wayne says that God is good. And he says when we are feeling good, when we're living in a place where we feel good about our life, if it's good, it's God, and if it's not good, it's not God. And that is simple. That's plain and simple about our feelings and what they do for us. Esther Hicks talks about this, and her and Abraham's teachings, that you need to get yourself in a rampage of appreciation. It's what she calls it, where you upcycle your emotions so you're feeling good about life. And when you start thinking new thoughts about who you can be, what you can do, what life you can live, what relationship, financial situation, job, whatever it might be for you, you can have, you change those thoughts, you start feeling good about, yes, that can be my reality. Yes, that is my reality. You begin to picture it as if it already is. Those feelings impact driving who you are, and it leads to the third thing, and that's your behaviors. Your behaviors start to change. When you're thinking differently and you're feeling differently, you can't help but behave differently. The universe, God, source itself will open up opportunities for you when you think in new ways. They will come into your life. I guarantee it. I've changed my life over the last year and a half. I've come from a factory job I hated to a sales job I love to the coaching business I'm building here online. It's all brought me to this place just by changing thoughts and my feelings about those thoughts, and my behaviors changed, and I attracted the life of my dreams to myself. And you can do the same thing. The fourth key is this: when you think differently and you start feeling differently, you start behaving differently, guess what's going to happen? Your beliefs are going to change. You start believing new things about yourself, believing in new possibilities, believing in new areas of expertise in your life, if you will, areas that you can live in you've never lived in before. And your whole life changes. When the belief system you have changes, when you really begin to believe in yourself, you believe nothing's impossible because you're divinely connected. A divine piece of God is in you. It's part of you. It's who you are. You're not bound to this planet, to this body, to this earth. You're an eternal being. Nothing's off the table for you. When you start to live like that, when you start to see this universe, this world, this planet we're on is abundant and it's overflowing with abundance, and you can be plugged into all that, you'll change it all. I promise you, it will change your life, my friend. And it all starts with a thought. It all starts with shifting into a new gear. What gear do you need to shift out of today to get you out of the alignment you're in and shift into to get you into a new alignment? You can do it today, and I can help you. If you need a little help on the journey, click the link below. Let's talk about it. Or check out some of my other videos, because I talk about this stuff all the time. I believe in you. Now you need to go believe in you, and I'll see you in the next video.